Imagine an empire so terrifying, its name was whispered in fear for millennia. An empire that didn't just conquer its enemies, but systematically erased them from history, leaving behind only ruins and legends of their unmatched cruelty. This is the story of the Assyrian Empire. Pause. Our story begins not with a bang, but with a quiet city on the banks of the Tigris River. The city of Assur. For centuries, around 2000 BC, this was a humble trading hub. The early Assyrians were merchants, not warriors. They built a vast network of trade routes, their caravans carrying tin and textiles across Mesopotamia. They were businessmen, content with their profits, living in the shadow of more powerful neighbors, like the Babylonians and the Hittites. But shadows don't last forever. Around 1360 BC, something changed. A king named Ashur-uballit came to the throne. He saw a world of chaos, of collapsing empires, and saw an opportunity. He declared himself a great king, equal to the pharaohs of Egypt, and began to expand. This was the birth of the Middle Assyrian Empire. For the next few centuries, they fought, they conquered, they built. They were good, but not yet great. They were still just one power among many. Then, around 911 BC, the world changed forever. This is when the Neo-Assyrian Empire exploded onto the scene. This wasn't just an empire. It was a war machine, the most advanced and ruthless the world had ever seen. Under a line of brutal, brilliant kings like Ashur-uballit II, they perfected the art of conquest. They pioneered siege warfare with massive towers and battering rams. Their ironclad chariots and cavalry were unstoppable. But it wasn't just their military might that made them feared. It was their psychology. They practiced a policy of calculated terror. When they conquered a city, they would flay its leaders alive, create pyramids of skulls, and deport entire populations, scattering them across the empire to break their spirit of resistance. Their kings carved these horrific deeds onto massive stone reliefs for all to see, a permanent warning: resist, and this is your fate. For 300 years, from modern-day Iran to Egypt, everyone lived in fear of the Assyrians. They built magnificent capitals like Nineveh, with grand palaces and the first great library in history, filled with knowledge plundered from their conquests. But empires built on fear have a fatal flaw. They create a lot of enemies. By 626 BC, the Assyrian Empire was stretched thin, exhausted by constant warfare. The Babylonians to the south and the Medes to the east, peoples who had suffered under the Assyrian yoke for generations, saw their chance. They formed an alliance. In 612 BC, their combined armies did the unthinkable. They besieged and completely destroyed the unsackable capital of Nineveh. The city burned for days. The great libraries turned to ash. The terrifying palaces crumbled into dust. The mighty Assyrian Empire, the terror of the world, vanished from history almost overnight. It was a fall so sudden, so complete, that for 2,000 years, the city of Nineveh was thought to be a mere myth. The world's first true superpower had become a ghost story, a whisper in the dark.